Good morning. This is Jason Dean yet again for another Film Fanatic show. I'm really excited about this show. This is a movie that I grew up watching as a kid, and it's always been one of my favorites. I actually love the entire franchise, and that is The Puppet Master. It's a huge franchise. There was actually one that came out, I believe, like a couple of years ago that was actually really, really good. There's a whole bunch of them. And The Puppet Master, the original, was a movie that I watched as a kid, super low budget, and I consider it to be like the super low budget, campy, kind of horror B movie, exploitation kind of a thing that I loved as a kid. I was obsessed with it. And I just watched it again last night. And I had not seen the original in years. And I was just blown away by what a kick ass movie it is. So incredibly silly, so goofy, kind of twisted, kind of sleazy, incredibly low budget. Uh, all the it has all the great attributes of what I love about B movies and exploitation movies. And it definitely doesn't. It's got it's kind of got the serious, actually kind of horrific elements to it. Like it's pretty creepy. There's some elements of it that are generally creepy, but it's also incredibly silly and goofy and funny. And I love that this film doesn't take itself that seriously. And to me, again, that's another characteristic or attribute or trait of why I love exploitation movies so much. And again, this is the second movie for this coverage of this 10 horror movie pack that I got. I got this at Bull Moose last weekend for $3, and it has like 10 movies on it. And I typically don't buy any more DVDs, but when I come across them, and especially when they're just really good deals, I'll snatch them up. I have to. This is a really great collection, and I this is my second movie I've watched on here, and just totally blown away. I did a review earlier today that's going to be uploaded at some point called Transfers from 1984, another sci-fi exploitation movie that I had never seen before. Super awesome. I had never seen that one before, and I was blown away by how just a killer movie it was. Super entertaining and goofy and weird and ridiculous. And The Puppet Master, I had not seen the original Puppet Master in years and years and years. I love the franchise. I think they're all really great. Again, just totally ridiculous. I love the creature design, the design of the puppets. It's pretty amazing. Really, really good. And it's all like, this came out. The original Puppet Master came out in 1989. And this is also, the music was done by Richard Band, who actually directed Trancers. So, yeah, it's super cool how it's all related. And this movie came out in 1989, and I'm just amazed by the practical effects in this movie are just so awesome, and the creature design, the design of the actual puppets, is so cool. Uh, just amazing. I mean, just iconic, and it's still a viable franchise. There's so many movies in the franchise. The coolest discovery of this, like again, I had not seen this movie in years and years. I've seen all of the movies in the franchise, and I love all of them. And this one is just, I think, just a B movie exploitation masterpiece. It was directed by David Schmoeller, who I was just I and when I just realized that last night when I watched this, I was blown away by that because David Schmoeller is the director of Tourist Trap, starring Chuck Connors, which is my all-time favorite exploitation movie. My Tourist Trap is my all-time hands down favorite Horror Exploitation movie. I just love that movie. It's so absurd. It's so incredibly creepy and weird, and it's so terrible, but just so amazing. And there's images and scenes in that film that are just pure nightmare. But yet it's so ridiculous, and I just love that combination of something that can have some serious overtones and can really like rattle your cage, but at the same time, it's like so schlocky and kind of shitty and terrible. I just love. I'm like kind of obsessed with that those factors, and I was super excited when I saw that David Schmoeller directed Puppet Master, which is a really. I mean, even though these movies are so low budget, and definitely in the cult kind of uh, underground kind of thing, these movies are huge. Like they're actually really popular. They it's a huge franchise, and I had no idea that David Schmoeller did it. And of course, David Schmoeller, the director of Tourist Trap, which is my all-time favorite horror exploitation movie, that came out in 1979. That was his first movie. He also directed Crawl Space in 1986, which I didn't realize, which is another awesome horror movie. And Puppet Master came out after that in 1989. He also did Two Little Monsters in, I'm not sure what year that came out, Catacombs, 1988. He also directed Puppet Master 2 and Puppet Master 3. That's crazy. I had no idea that he was involved with a massive franchise, even though it's, a culty exploitation series. I had no idea. These movies were huge. Huge. Huge, like, rabid fan base. They still are. They still remain really popular. A lot of the puppets used in the movie are very iconic and kind of right up there with like the design of like Leatherface or Freddy Krueger. I mean, they're really iconic. He also directed Puppet Master 3. He directed like 3 or 4 of them. 5 of them actually. Puppet Master: The Legacy in 2003. Uh, Curse of the Puppet Master in 1988. It's crazy. It's crazy. The Seduction is another movie he did in 1982. Yeah, I had no idea that he was responsible for this movie, and I was super excited. Charles Band actually directed most of these movies, but David Schmoeller was a producer on a lot of these movies, but he directed the very first one. Um, and again, it's this copy, this DVD set that I have. The first movie I watched, Transfers, it's okay. The quality isn't great, but it's pretty good. The other series of movies that I did of these movies that I picked up at Goodwill, of these 3 like werewolf horror exploitation movies I had never seen before, that I was just totally floored by how great they were. They're really kind of piss poor quality. They're actually really bad, especially the second movie I watched with Paul Nashi. But still amazing, and I'm glad I bought it. The first film I bought, Werewolf at a Girl's Dormitory, is actually really good quality. The transfer is really good. The one thing that's really cool about this is the transfer for Puppet Master on this DVD is actually really, really good. It's really good quality. So, it runs the gamut. And I just started this other movie last night that I've never seen, and it's this Canadian slasher movie called Curtains, and it's from the early 80s. So I'm super excited. I just started watching that. But Puppet Master, what a damn classic. I mean, and what a great franchise. I don't own any of the movies or any of the movies in the franchise on Blu-ray, but I will definitely do that. I do own, I have a few, I believe I have a couple of the other Puppet Master movies on DVD. I have them on VHS. I have seen all of them, and I do love them all. Like I said, I think it's a really great franchise as a whole. They're just super fun and ridiculous. But there's something special about the first one. It's really, really unique and strange and hilarious. The kills are fantastic. The use of the puppets, the practical effects are so awesome in this movie. It's great. It's fantastic. So I highly recommend, if you've never seen the Puppet Master movies, got to start with the first one and go all the way up to, like, I think there's 6 movies in the franchise. And for me, the biggest thing I love about rewatching this was or realizing that David Schmoeller directed this film, who is the director again of Tourist Trap, which is my hands down my favorite horror exploitation movie of all time. So this is Jason Dean. Thanks again for your support, and we will see you next time. Peace.